Hello, Inform Scotland friends and followers. I'm trying to look at you, but I don't know where I'm to look. The green light thing doesn't seem to be working. I am so sorry that I have not been in touch with you for such a long time. We have been on a bit of an adventure here in this house. We have had COVID, and we have also had quite a lot of friends suffering with it as well. We have had some severe COVID in this house and a trip to the hospital lasting 5 days for one of our members. The reason that I'm telling you all this is just that I know I need to update the daily statistics data. And I keep meaning to do that, but the problem is I've left it so long now, it's quite a big job. Obviously, we're in the summer holidays and we've had 2 fairly frightful weeks, to be honest. I've also got quite a lot of friends and family who are testing positive and actually really getting quite unwell with COVID. I would be lying, and I don't lie, so I'm not going to do that. If I said that I am not concerned about this, I am actually very concerned about this. I often, it will surprise none of my followers to hear, I'm sure, get accused of being a COVID denier. Now, the thing is, I feel like I'm very clear when I communicate things, and I think what's happening now societally, we seem to be losing the ability to listen. And people fill in a lot of their own opinions into what other people are saying rather than actually just listening. I have never denied COVID exists. I have absolutely no doubt that it exists, and I think it's a very concerning disease. I have never, ever denied its existence or tried to minimise its seriousness. The fact is, for the majority of people, they will suffer a mild infection. Now, as evidence is emerging that this virus has been engineered and that it has a very dangerous spike protein, it is very possible. I'm not saying this to be fear mongering or anything else, I accept that it's absolutely possible that this virus will have long term consequences for people who are infected. However, I can't really see much way around that except by treatment, and I'm going to come on to that shortly. But it is a very serious disease, and certainly in our house, it has been experienced by one of us very severely, which ended up in a trip to the hospital. And actually, I have a lot to say about that as well, which I will not do here. But one day you might hear this story, and I am deeply troubled by what I have observed. The thing about COVID is that it is an immensely treatable disease. And I'm saying that, I'm sort of using my terminology wrong, I think. SARS-CoV-2 is an extremely treatable respiratory virus. Now, I am not going to give medical advice here because I'm not a clinician. However, it is absolutely critically important that people who are infected with SARS-CoV-2 take efforts, take measures against this virus. Now, there are very simple, very safe, extremely effective treatments available which you should start to take as soon as you possibly can. Vitamin D is extremely beneficial. You can't overdose on it. If you take, well, you probably can, but if you take 20,000 units of vitamin D daily on experiencing COVID symptoms, that will do a significant amount to counter your infection. Now, the quicker you can get over your infection, the less damage this spike protein can do to your physiology. It really is very simple. The NHS is not offering any advice about treatment whatsoever. And this is completely unacceptable. And I really am starting to get very angry about it. I feel like a family member in my house became unnecessarily ill with SARS-CoV-2 infection, which developed into COVID-19. It was completely unnecessary, and it was because I was not treating that person properly. I myself am very happy to speak about my COVID symptoms. I developed a fever on the Sunday night. I'd actually had a cold the week before and I thought that was maybe COVID, but it wasn't. I developed a fever on the Sunday night. Monday, I felt not too bad, but I had quite a tickly cough. You might have noticed earlier on in the video there, I kind of tripped over my words because I sometimes just get this wee niggly tickle at the top of my throat. That became quite severe by Tuesday, and Wednesday I was struggling a wee bit to speak because I just kept coughing, a bit like I'm doing right now. It's like an involuntary reflex cough thing, but no, it wasn't a productive cough at all. I also developed dizziness and quite painful eyes. However, I have been taking my daily treatment protocol. I've been taking my budesonide inhaler, which I have for asthma anyway. I've been taking lots of vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, among a couple of other things. And that seems to be working very well because I'm feeling 100% normal today, and this is Tuesday. So basically, yeah, I had my dizziness, my fever had gone, I had dizziness and the cough on Wednesday. By Thursday, I just felt fatigued. Friday, I felt a bit fatigued, and Saturday, a bit fatigued, but that was improving all the time. By Sunday, I felt completely normal. So basically, my symptoms lasted 7 days. And it's very important that you treat COVID. The NHS will not help you with this. So I want to recommend to you 2 websites that you should visit. And I really want you, please, I ask everybody to do this, please study the treatment protocols, because you need to be familiar with them and you need to be prepared to start taking these things as soon as your symptoms develop. You do not want to develop severe COVID, and if you treat the disease properly, it's very unlikely you will suffer that. So there's a website called, it's covid19criticalcare.com, and it's the FLCCC Alliance. Now you will find treatment protocols on there. I'm not going to offer you medical advice, but I'm going to tell you that these people are offering advice on how to treat COVID. There's also the American Association of Physicians and Surgeons. They also have a treatment protocol on their website. And I think it's very good. You can see this, there's a very, very handy little flow chart on it. So if you go to aapsonline.org, okay, and just down the page here, you will see there's a flow chart. This is extremely helpful. I'm trying to open it. If you print this chart off and get prepared before you develop COVID symptoms, get these drugs, these things on here you might want to think about purchasing them, and you can give them out to your friends, your family. If you need any advice about how to source any of them, email us at informscotland.uk. There is also going to be a COVID hotline number set up by the BIRD group, BIRD, which will be offering treatments or treatment advice. I'm not giving you advice, but I'm telling you this virus can affect young people. It seems to be affecting quite a lot of young people at the moment. That's mostly anecdotal. We should be extremely concerned about this, in my view. I don't mean frightened. I don't want anybody to be frightened. We are now absolutely fine in this house. We're back to fully functioning 100% normally. We're absolutely fine. I do not want anyone to be frightened, but there's things that I want you to think about. Treatment for COVID is very important. The quicker you can conquer this virus, the less damage it's going to do to you long term, and the better your outcome is going to be. On day 7, you want to be, if you are seeing somebody after 7 days suffering from COVID, on day 7, if they're not turning a corner, it's probably time to start getting a little bit concerned. If there's, it's also worth buying a pulse oximeter to make sure that you can monitor blood oxygen levels. If they're below 95% consistently, that is an indication that there is something wrong with the sufferer's lungs and probably need a bit of help. Day 7 to day 10 seems to be this sort of critical time when people really can go downhill. So you want to be very careful during that time envelope. Do not be frightened. There's no reason to be frightened, but you have to be prepared. And unfortunately, the state is not helping us to get prepared. I'm telling you, you have to take responsibility for that yourself and protect your own health. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of love to you. I'm so sorry I haven't been in touch more. I'm going to try and get these stats updated to see what's been happening in this fourth wave, as I call it. Please have a think about what I've said. I will link the websites that I think you should visit on the comments. Be prepared. I'm adding so much like advice to my tagline at the end of these videos. Be prepared. Stay sane. Stay strong. Stay tuned. And remember, I love you.